Good evening and welcome to another episode of A Contagious Smile Unstoppable. I'm Victoria and my husband who just woke up at 2:15 this
Howdy, y'all.
afternoon. Michael, you should be wide awake.
No.
Yeah, you've only been up 3 hours, 4 hours.
Okay, let's go back here, Victoria.
Let's go.
I got up at 5
To play video games,
15
games,
ish
games, games, games.
to
Right.
let the dogs out.
And to play video games, 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 games.
I play the Xbox while the dogs are out.
You play for hours.
And
Alpha
then,
Faith.
and then
I hope she starts texting during this
ready
again.
awake.
And then you go back to bed.
Somebody said, "Oh, husband of mine who always brings me breakfast in bed every day."
A frozen waffle.
I don't care. It's still breakfast in bed.
Oh,
every day.
frozen Eggo. Let go of my Eggo.
I don't see your ass getting up making your husband something. Frozen.
Excuse me, who works 20 hours a day
Your husband.
publishing? But you are full of shit. You don't want this podcast to go that route today, do you? Who works? You even said I'm a severe workaholic.
I am.
Not you, me.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Yes, good morning, sunshine.
our lifestyle's a little different now that I got fired.
FMLA apparently doesn't matter in this country to some corporations that desperately try to market out on social media and get no likes, no follows, no nothing. What season are we in again?
And then yet claim they're family oriented.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got fired for not showing up for work
Even though you put an excuse because
when I had to take my father to the hospital, or we were en route with ER, or we were already
Surgery.
at the hospital, or there was surgery, and so
yeah.
we just tried to do the right thing and keep him alive around much longer. But that was another time, and we're moving on.
Yes.
So now, I reckon, as my daughter would say, my wife is my employer.
I've always been your employer. That's why the CEO
The president.
is over the president. Alexa,
God.
who is in charge?
Don't get that woman.
CEO or the president of a company?
The CEO is typically the highest ranking executive in a company.
Typically.
The president usually handles daily operations, reporting to the CEO. In smaller companies,
Reporting to the CEO is the president. And let me ask you this. I began A Contagious Smile in 2006. I offered you the role of presidency in 2021. So how could you be over me when I gave the role to you? Just questioning.
What's tonight's subject?
Okay. So
Alexa, shut up.
she's talking to you. Alexa, stop. Thank you. So with that, she doesn't like him. So
Doesn't.
at all. It's kind of fun.
It's not fun at all.
It's hilarious, actually.
It's pretty funny. Shut up. Tell your employee.
Alexa, stop. Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
So I want to thank everybody who has just really been out there getting books lately. Who Kicked First has gotten a lot of new readers. And also our newest book, which is right here, Healing After Narcissistic Abuse, just came out a few days ago and it's doing really, really well. So thank you all for that. We were at the doctor's yesterday and I'm sitting there talking to a beautiful woman. And next thing I know, she's like, "Where is your book? I want to get it. I want to get it." And literally, I mean, just the sweetest
She
lady.
sat down beside me, looked it up, and ordered it right there in front of me. Now that is awesome.
That was amazing. That's super amazing. So the new book, not the one that just came out a few days ago, there's another one coming out called
Of course there is.
Shielded. And I reluctantly asked my husband if he would read the first chapter. And for those of you who don't know, my husband has not read Who Kicked First. He's in it, but he has not read it because it is so graphic and detail oriented on the abuse itself that transpired. And I don't think he could handle it. And I was very nervous about him reading chapter one of this book. And he just read it. And I was like, this is the perfect time to do our bi weekly podcast. So, without giving too much away, let's talk about what this did for you, what your gut felt like, and all that reading this first chapter.
Give it away. So I'm a very emotional guy, so to speak, when it comes to reading shit that directly involves my family and my wife.
Wait, aren't I your family? You said my
Yes.
family and my wife. Aren't I
Well, we have two other Rugrats that kind of disown us,
two?
two.
Okay, what does that have to do with my family and my wife? Your wife is your family.
That's part of our family too.
That just made no sense, not even for me.
And
Carry on.
and I read very slow. All right, I'm not the best speed reader. So this one,
I've never seen you read something so fast.
this is really, it really grips you, y'all. If those y'all who read Who Kicked First know what kind of writer my wife is, and she just draws you in. Every fiber of her soul is in these words, and you're there. You're laying in her position. You're feeling her pain. You're smelling the acrid blood in the air. You're sensing everything that goes on around you, and then to not only have all those things happening to you, from the abuse, you have the forethought to do steps A, B, C, and D after so that it won't be triggered again. And once you read the book, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Most of us are like fight or flight. We're going to fight the situation. If we can't, then, we may surrender to it. But my wife was conditioned a different way by a monster. And it's unreal to read this about this gorgeous, beautiful woman sitting across from me, and to know that she lived every minute of it, every second, every heart wrenching, painstakingly eternal second as she was being stabbed. Anyway, y'all pick up the book.
It's not out yet.
Who Kicked First?
Oh.
You'll have a damn good idea of what my wife went through.
See, it's hard for me because, like, last night I was re-editing, and Who Kicked First is the first book I never edited. I literally, in the very beginning of the book, I apologize for grammatical errors. I am not great at grammar. I'm the first one to admit that I'm better, that I'm not still at that level yet. And this was actually written at bedside with my daughter in the NICU in a medically induced coma because I was being interrogated left, right, and center, and everybody was asking me all sorts of questions. And I was writing things down because I didn't have anywhere to yell and scream. And so I only had a laptop to work in. So that's really hard. But now I go back and I read. And last night I told Michael, I said, it's just kind of a hard day because it's hard to relive it because I want it to be so authentic and so real that anybody who's either currently in an abusive situation or gotten out of it, they can see themselves in a situation because they relate and they know that I am not just somebody who hasn't lived it. I'm someone who's been right there in the trenches with them, and I get it and I understand it. And I don't want them to be alone. I want them to know they have someone with them and helping them along the way. And that is so important to me. But as a woman, it's harder for me because, yes, there are nasty, I have horrific scars. Like, you can't deny, I have hundreds of scars. And it's even harder as a woman because I have horrific scarring even in my lower area. And to know that there are stabbing scars down there, it's hard. And then when you're married, you're very subconscious about those things. But you have to bring yourself to a place where you see it as a sign of warrior of how many times somebody tried and failed and you succeeded. And it's a very hard thing to do. It is a very, very hard thing to do. And you go through and realize, I mean, part of the reason for this book is because so many women are afraid, and this book's going to piss off a lot of people. And I know that. And that's okay. But anybody who's ever followed us or listened to us and supports us know we are very much in favor of military and law enforcement. I mean, that's basically what our whole families are. And I always say just because there's a few bad apples in the orchard doesn't mean that they're all bad. And so we support the great men and women. However, there are those that are corrupt. There are those that do cover ups, and it's more often than people have an idea. And it is very, very well documented that abuse is more prevalent in law enforcement and military. And so that hence why there's more of a cover up. And here's the thing, if 1 in 4 women are abused, and that's what's reported, how many aren't reported? Let's think about that for a minute and think about those numbers. That is so scary. So let's say the listener right now is a woman. She has a daughter, she has a sister, and she has a mother. One in those 4. That's scary. And if those are what's reported, what isn't reported? And so many women don't want to come forth and report because they are just another number in the system. They are just another case. They are a file. I was told flat out that, oh, your case fell through the cracks. I am not a case. My daughter is not a case.
Damn right.
We are not a case number. We are human beings. And I damn sure know that if God forbid it happened to them, they sure as hell wouldn't appreciate being identified as a case number either. So to those people who cover up because they want to make sure they get their next paycheck or they want to make sure that they get their next promotion or whatever the consequences for them would be, I hope to God no one that you love ever endures and goes through any kind of abuse and that you never have to go through what we go through, because your career doesn't matter when it comes to the safety, security, and protection of individuals that go through this horrific abuse at the hands of someone. If you have no reason to have your hands put on anyone else in an unwarranted manner, ever. I'll ask somebody if I can hug them. You just don't go up and you have a bad day, walk the hell away. That makes you a man. That makes you a hell of a man. That makes you a hell of an individual. You want to take out your aggression on somebody else, on a woman, a child, an animal? That makes you a flippin' coward. That makes you a piece of shit. And I'll be the first one to say it all day long. And believe me, it took me a very long time to get to where I'm comfortable enough to say this now, because I was the person that would walk out to the garbage wearing a gun on my hip. I wore 5 knives everywhere I go, and I care everywhere I go, and I have knives everywhere I go. And I just think it's cool because I have all these cards that say I have metal in me everywhere, so they don't search me. And the thing is that I know the only person that I could trust over the duration of this time was me. And it was my responsibility to protect my child, and I damn sure did it. And if you realize that going to the authorities, that pisses them off. I mean, that makes them, I literally cannot tell you how many times that when law enforcement was advised that they were laughing with him and looking down at me. We had gotten pulled over once, and I was so like hopeful. Okay, this officer is going to come up to the vehicle and they're going to see that I'm pregnant. They're going to see that my face is just totally smashed up and bruised. They're going to do the right thing, right? They're going to do the right thing. They gave him a card and offered him a job. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Like, I literally couldn't believe it that they just nothing. I mean, nothing. Not even, are you okay? It was, oh, she's very clumsy. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I get it. And just nothing. I mean, you just sink into the reality of that's what this is going to be. This is how it's going to be. You know, when my nose was broken in front of his captain, I thought, okay, now they're going to do the right thing. Nothing was done. You know, when they did put him into, because my ex was military, they did put him into holding in the barracks or whatever you want to call it, they had a lieutenant that he knew and was, that he knew watching him. And I said, I'm formally requesting he be transferred to another installation because this is not okay. I don't, and they were like, no, aren't you, asking for enough? I'm asking to live. What am I asking for? And like I said, I very heavily support our military. I very heavily support it. So please don't misconstrue that. My husband was Air Force. Don't misconstrue that at all. But how is it that those that cover up the abuse, which is so predominant in the military, how is it that you can't even protect a U.S. citizen on U.S. soil, right? I'm an American citizen, and it's your responsibility in the military to cover, to protect, and but even law enforcement. And so they gave him a lieutenant that he knew. I begged for him to be transferred. I was denied. And then I get a notification that they're at a bar on my credit card drinking. And I had the receipt. I got the receipt because it also came on my bank statement. And so we pulled security camera and got a picture of them drinking at a bar while he's supposed to be held because of the quote unquote allegations. And when I brought this to command, they were like, he had to eat. Did he have? They're laughing, cutting up, having a good time, drinking. There was a pitcher of beer on the table. He has to eat. Do you take people that have been held for whatever you want to call it to a bar with alcohol and the person assigned to watching you is drinking? I mean, come on now. This is why I am so very big about honesty. And when they say he said, she said, absolutely not. I am a person who believes in evidence times a million. And still, it doesn't matter because if it's going to get covered up, it's going to get covered up. And in 2026, we still have to worry about how we are going to survive. And then what's worse is they try to placate with our kids in the picture. Like, well, there's a thing called co-parenting and co-parenting has to exist. Once they put their hands on their spouse, and I would love Michael to give me his thoughts on this. Once they put their hands on the spouse, it's only a matter of time before they put them on the children. It is only a matter of time, and it will happen. And they're also going to use the child as a pawn, back and forth, back and forth. And this is what's going to happen. It happened. Michael was used as a pawn, and it was back and forth, back and forth. And because the two parents didn't like each other, they used the kids as pawns. And you can't do that. You cannot ruin a child so that they spend their entire adulthood recovering from their childhood. We didn't ask, number one, to be born. We didn't ask you to lay down, open your legs, and get knocked up or have a baby or whatever it is you want to say. And we definitely didn't ask you to hurt us. Your responsibility as a parent is to protect us and prepare us for the next phase of life, not ruin our life, not make it where we're scared of our own shadow or we know that we can't trust anyone because no one is there to help us. That is not how life is supposed to be. And that is why both my husband and I have broken the generational cycle and will not allow it to go on. And it is not an easy thing to do, but our kids are worth it. 1,000%. I mean, babe, what are your thoughts? How often do you see once the abuser starts on the wife, how long and before they actually start on the children?
I won't say my ex because she's no longer mine, right? And I don't claim it. But I did have an ex, the second ex, that I was under her thumb, and we'll say it was verbal and emotional abuse. Okay, wasn't physical. She just wasn't strong enough. But what she was strong enough is was to whoop her own kids, and this was it was something that I wasn't 100% against at the time. You know, whooping your kids because that's how I was raised. But the severity that this woman put on her kids, I don't know if I ever told you, she would get so irate and so mad. Now, little did she know that her daughter was special needs, and that's why she couldn't
Verbally.
verbally communicate. And she would get so frustrated and angry with that child and just tear into her
But it's not the child's fault.
and then take it out on the boy too,
But
which
it's
was
not the
younger.
child's fault. I know. I have spoken to the boy numerous times.
And she would whoop them with a belt.
Oh no.
Or,
Oh no.
or, you know,
No, no.
her shoe, her flip flop, and
Mm-mm.
just tear into it.
Mm-mm.
And a lot of times I had to stop. I said that's excessive. That's enough.
No. Nope.
Uh,
No. No.
and this I'm it's prevalent in any society, but this was on the Hispanic side. And yeah, so would it have progressed to me had she been physically able? Yes, I'm sure it would have. So you see it happening to the spouse, the partner, the significant other. It will happen to the kids. It's just a matter of time.
And people say, no, 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 it will never happen. Yes, it will.
Bullshit.
It absolutely will. I mean, it absolutely will. And then when
Or the pet. Oh my gosh, the dog one time. I felt so bad for that dog. I mean, yeah,
shot and killed my puppy. Yeah. To show me what he would do if I left.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unbelievable. I can't even watch videos. I guess that's another reason I'm so like, my husband
Against our
loves to watch like TikToks against our what?
oh, I thought you were gonna talk about our movie night videos.
No, 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 no. Like you guys love to watch TikTok and all that crap. I can't do it because I've scrolled through and I see because I try to support people who support us. But then I see like videos of somebody hurting a dog or throwing a dog out of a car. And I hope when I see it it's AI, but you can tell it's not. And it's like even if it's AI, I'm angry at the person who made it because how do you do that? Like I look at our sweet dogs and if anybody even oh no 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 no. Nope, no. I can't fathom how you look at how sweet Stucco and Rusty are and how gentle and loving they are. There is no way I can understand how somebody could do that, right? I don't understand how somebody could hurt somebody like that. It's mind blowing to me because what did they ever do except want unconditional love? And then you see these dogs that chase the cars that are trying to get back in the car with their owner, that are trying, to hurry up and get back to wherever they were supposed to be. They just got thrown out of a car. And now the dogs are literally chasing the car down the road trying to get back with them. And it's heart wrenching. It's absolutely heart wrenching. I don't understand how people can do it. I mean, what if, God forbid, you're an abuser and then all of a sudden you see them hurt somebody, but then something happens to them, and nobody wants to take care of you? How do you feel about that then? I mean, you're going to end up very alone. You're going to end up, I just can't understand how some people get up and function. I just can't. Because at the end of the day, aren't you lonely? Aren't you just, it's kind of like they always say, oh, men buy these really expensive cars because they're, you know, proving something else. They're
Compensation.
compensate. Yeah, thank you. They're compensating for smaller things or whatever. And I mean, that's just stupid. That's just dumb. I mean, you look at somebody. I only back talked. I call him idiot a couple of times, and the old me prior to the abuse. I mean, he testified in court that he waited until I was pregnant to hit me because he knew that had he hit me and I wasn't pregnant, it would have been over. And he's absolutely right. I mean, I hate to give him credit, but it was absolutely right. Nobody would have put their hand on me in that position. And everybody's like, well, you don't know what you do to you're in that certain spot. And that's absolutely correct. That's absolutely. And I made a deal with the devil. I said, as long as you don't touch my stomach, I will not hit you back. And one of the first things you learn in any martial art training is de-escalation. Just in law enforcement, same thing. You learn to de-escalate the situation. But when you are straddled over in the middle of the night and beaten in your face to say, hey, bitch, get up and get me something to drink, you can't de-escalate to get away. And you only have like one chance and you have to have your stuff together. You have to, or you're gonna end up right back in that situation. And that's the thing. And, I said to him a couple of times, he told me he would hit my daughter if she dropped her pacifier. And I was in my office. He had spontaneously showed up, which I didn't understand how he could do it, but he did. And he would just show up in the office, and he wanted to make sure all the pictures were how they were supposed to be. I had the dog tags on. I always had to have one under my suit, but people had to know that they were there. And just all the pictures had to be where everybody could see them. And I was wearing my ring, and it was just such stuff. And you just like, you pick your battle because it's like, you just, my office, I had an assistant, and if I was on the phone, you can't go in there right now. He'd push her to the side and he'd go in anyway. And it was always, he had this God complex, and it just blew my mind that you can't comprehend the mindset of these creatures because they're not men. And I know men get abused too. I'm not taking away from that for a minute. I am not for a minute not advocating and supporting men that get abused either. I am here for them as well. And I have talked to many different men that have gone through it, and I'm here for them as well. But right now I'm talking about women. And I cannot grasp the mindset of anyone that can cause harm to another individual in that manner. I mean, I just can't. I mean, even if it's not physical and it's emotional and it's financial, it's psychological, whatever the case may be, how miserable of a creature must you be to want to bring someone to that level with you? I mean, you have to be so miserably unhappy. And one of the things I always knew growing up, my grandparents always, would say, and I would always ask, how is it my sperm donor came from y'all when y'all were like the best human beings on the planet? And I said, how is it you raised them? And they would say, well, look whose daughter you are. We could ask the same thing. And I didn't understand that. I couldn't figure out what they meant by that. But it was, they were just trying to show me. And they would always say, the best revenge is the revenge served cold because it's not expected. It's unexpected and comes out of nowhere. And the best revenge you can give is success because abusers do not want to see you succeed. Because most abusers are alcoholics, they're into drugs, they are into promiscuity, they are in an unhappy marriage, they aren't successful at work. There's so many elements of unhappiness in their layer of life. And they don't want to see someone they're trying to tear down build themselves up. They don't want to see success in others when they see failure in theirs. And that was one of the things that I was taught early on was that you are not meant to succeed in their eyes, and they're going to do everything they possibly can to make sure that you don't. And that's a very big deal. Like if you're an attractive person, they're going to do everything they can to disfigure you if it's a physical abuse so that no one else will want you. I heard it every single day. Everybody laughs at you. Everybody, feels bad for me. This was his words. Everybody feels bad for me that I'm with such an ugly woman. Everybody feels bad that I had to lower my standards to be with someone who looks like you. And you hear this every single day, you begin to believe it. And it was nobody would ever want you. Nobody's ever going to want to touch you. You're disgusting. Look at you. And then when you have your own biological family say, hey, here's a Sharpie marker. If you're really bored, why don't you take a Sharpie and connect all of your scars that'll keep you busy the whole night? Or you look like Freddy Krueger and the Elephant Man had a baby together. These are things that I would never say to someone I love. Faith has overcome so much. She is a force to be reckoned with. And if someone said to me, you have to say something like this to her, absolutely not. There's nothing you could do to make me do it. Nothing. Because I'm so cognitively aware of every word I say to people I love because I don't ever want a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road for them to say, man, we were in this heated argument and you said this and it has stuck with me all these years. Because everybody gets heated, everybody has disagreements and discrepancies, but you don't have to belittle them and take away anything from them because you had a disagreement about something petty and dumb or whatever. You don't have to do that because at one point in time, you picked them. And you're right. I in my own way picked idiot, but I didn't pick the idiot that was real. I picked the idiot that was portrayed to me, which is a very charismatic, very like the charismatic way of a true abuser is they come in and give you everything. They find what's called like the ace in the hole. They find where your weakness is. And mine was I wanted a family. I wanted my own personal intimate family. I wanted to be a mom. And I had just lost a baby. And so I really wanted a family. And I was mourning. I was mourning my loss of Michael. I was mourning the loss of our child. And I was devastated. And honestly, first time in my entire life, I tried the guilt and the jealousy thing. I thought, well, maybe if Michael saw me with somebody else, that would make him want to be with me. And I he kept trying to say to me, "Oh, we've been unhappy with everybody else, and you're not really giving me a chance." And I flat told him I didn't love him, and he was like, "Well, if you just let the wall down, you will." And I'm like, "No, I won't." And he kept trying and trying, and he was so charismatic. Oh, my family's all about children, and they adopt kids, and they do this and they do that. And on paper, if you put everything on paper, he looked like Prince Charming. But he wasn't. Everything about him was a false pretense. Everything about him was a lie. And this is what they do. This is how they draw you in. And, I sat on the bathroom floor in a black suit with my Palm Pilot. I think I just aged myself out, looking for flights back to my home state because I didn't want to do it. Everything in my gut told me not to do it. And I mean, it was atrocious. I did not want to be there. And I knew it was a big, huge mistake. And I prayed about it, and I'm not pushing religion on anyone. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and something came over me and said something amazing is going to come out of this. And it did. And, back then I never thought I would have the happiness that I have now. And for the people that are out there that are listening and that are going through this horrific thing, I was on the top of my career. I really couldn't go much further up in my career. I was as high up basically as I could be. There was not much further up I could go. I had everything I ever wanted except an intimate personal family of my own. That was all that I was missing. And I lost everything except I had myself and I had my daughter. And you know what? That made me one hell of a winner. And I started up again from nothing. And now I have my soulmate and the love of my life. And I have our beautiful daughter. And we have our life together. And there's nothing that can compare or touch to that. And my husband looks like he's chomping at the bit. So now I'm going to let him say something as I've just rattled on.
It's all right. We love you, Victoria.
Yeah, thanks.
So, y'all want to know more about that resilient, that, how should we say, champion, survivor, that warrior that is Victoria Curate? Y'all go pick up her book, Who Kicked First.
Why don't you talk about personal experience
Hey,
instead
pick
of
up-
my book?
Okay.
Read it first.
Hey, y'all go to victoria.com.
No, it's not Victoria.com. See, this is why you're never in.
Sorry.
You're fired.
Sorry. See, you get me flustered, woman.
Yeah,
You're so
it's
gorgeous.
whatever. It's VictoriaCure.com.
VictoriaCure.com. C, the last name is spelled Cuore.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Y'all check out those books and grab a box of tissues. But be sure to pass them on to others, because there's someone out there who absolutely needs to know how to get out of situations like my wife was in. And then, as she's already stated, here I am, her happy ending, and it is possible. Isn't that right, babe? Babe,
What?
happy ending?
I'm letting you talk.
Oh, okay. You're supposed to piggyback and say, yes, Michael, it is a happy ending.
Yes, Michael, keep talking.
Oh my gosh.
Are
What am I going to do with you, woman?
there options? Is there a list?
I can make one.
Yeah, how about an inventory list?
Get right on that after this.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Our daughter's writing a song called Procrastination for
She can probably get one month about that.
Mug. Sticky. I loved him. Oh my God. He was hilarious on the show. He was so much fun.
If y'all don't know who Muck Sticky is, go ahead and look him up.
And if you chat with him, tell him we sent you to him. He is hilarious. I mean, yes. First of all, I love his story. I love his sister Cookie. I love what he does for her. It is so awesome and amazing. He loves his sister so much. And the story is amazing. And I love the concept of his some of his music. I have not heard every single song. I have not. But they're hilarious. And if you know anything about Faith and my husband, they prank each other constantly. And with that, like Faith loves to do one song where it says, "Hey, go F yourself," and I mean, he goes through this song about what you can do if you don't like him. And Faith loves to sing that song at certain doctors and things after everything she's been through. And it's a riot. It's a riot. He's hilarious. I mean, he's not hurting a single person. He's freaking hysterical. He's a huge hearted human being. Like he's got such a big heart. And I love that. Now, I am going to derail for just a minute because I have to tell you, if you go on Facebook and you pull up anything of any of our pages or groups or anywhere else, and if it's not there yet, I will make sure tonight that it is. We went last night for a Mexican, and these two always are bantering and playing. If you ever watch Grumpy Old Men, you'll see what my life is like. You know how they grumpy old men like Walter Matthau and I just lost his name. Jack Lemmon always would be like putz and he'd be like dickhead, and it was hilarious. Well, my husband and daughter do this to each other. Like she'll walk up and be like slut and he's like virgin. And this is what they do. And we're at the Mexican restaurant and they decide they're going to make a bet. And my husband already lost it like within 12 hours of making the bet and shaking hands on it. And the deal was that my husband was not going to play video games in any capacity, whether Xbox, on the computer, on the phone, the tablet. I mean, she made sure that any device was named so he couldn't find a loophole in this. And he couldn't do it for 10 days. And in return, she was going to read 30 minutes a night with no screen, no tablet, no phone, no nothing every night before bed. So they agreed. And whomever failed at this had to be the other one's cleaning person for a month. Now, this was great. So my husband, not even 6 hours later, had already lost. And she screenshot the picture off the camera. So if he ever disputed it, she could say, "Hey, here you go, buddy." So we're having dinner last night at a Mexican restaurant.
Pretty smart.
And yeah, well, she's my kid. So we're having dinner last night. And he makes some comment like he always does. And my daughter decides, okay, that's it. So she picks up a little bit of the rice and she looked like she was going to toss it at him. Now, these two are known for food fights and public displays of like restaurants. Like they'll throw food no matter where we are publicly. So he looks at her and says, "You don't have the balls." And now she is over 18. So it's not like he's saying this to an 8-year-old. So he says to her, "You don't have the balls." So she just keeps getting more and more rice. Right. And then he's like, "Go ahead. You don't have the balls. Go ahead." And so she's like, "Really? Are you daring me?" He's like, "Yep, because I know you won't do it to me. I know you won't." Now, the one thing we know about my husband is you do not touch his tea. He's very adamant, swallow, about his sweet tea. He's very big about his sweet tea. So she looks over at him and he's like, "Go ahead. You don't have it in you to do it." And she takes the Mexican rice with the corn and all that and dumps it in his sweet tea. And my husband's jaw like did the cartoon thing. And so she decided that wasn't good enough. So then she broke a chip into little minute pieces and put the chip in the tea, like in little pieces. Then she decided this wasn't really going to be it. And then he had just gotten this refill too. So it wasn't like he was almost done. So this was a full glass of sweet tea. And it had lemon in it. It was his favorite. He was good to go. So then she takes. Now, my husband used to be able to eat jalapenos like they were Tic Tacs or Tums or whatever. No problem. Now, my husband, wussy boy, can't tolerate normal salsa and has to ask the server for mild salsa because even the regular salsa is too hard for him now. So she takes the hot salsa and she pours a good little portion of it in his tea. And he is like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" So then she's like, "What is those red drinks called?" Because she doesn't drink. And he was like, "Oh, Bloody Mary." She's like, "Right." So she pulls some flour tortillas and she rolls them all up and she sticks it in there and says, "Here's your celery." So we have the rice, the corn, the chip, the salsa. Oh, she took some chicken from my chicken quesadilla, put that in there, and then she stirs it up. And she goes, I double dare you to drink it. And he was like, what? So he was like, she goes, I dare you to drink it. So he is like, I get 2 weeks off my time of being your cleaning person if I do this. So my husband, bless his thumping gizzard, decided he was going to try and push it further and says 2.5 weeks off. And she goes, you have to drink a fourth of it if you do. And he was like, what? And she's like, a fourth of it gets 2 weeks off. He couldn't do it. So she was like, then don't bother me with this petty 2.5 weeks. So he agrees. So she videotapes this. If you can ever imagine,
Not seen FB yet.
put it on. If you can imagine Popeye and one of the Three Stooges all at the same time, play it.
Play it.
Yeah, people can hear you. It is a downright riot why he's pulling this up. So he's doing Popeye, he's doing one of the Three Stooges, he's making all these faces. So when we get done, she's literally laughing so hard she can barely catch her breath. He's already lost the bet again, and so she's like, "Oh, now you're at 6 weeks. All right, go ahead and put another mic and play this. This is hilarious."
You drink it. I didn't see you drink it.
Oh, the face. I'm spazzing.
You are. He even put his hand on his face. He's like, "We have to go now." He didn't even drink an eighth of it. Like, I don't even think he drank a whole straw full. I mean, what did it taste like?
Oh.
You can hear her face laughing.
Well, look, I look like Popeye. I got one eye squinted.
Right, and then you do this Three Stooges thing with your hand.
Yeah, that was
What did it taste like?
shit.
No, seriously.
No, I'm serious.
What flavor did you get?
Every flavor.
Well, it was hot.
Sour, hot, sweet, lemony, everything.
You get any lime? Because the salsa I had that was normal salsa had a very big lime
I did
taste.
taste a little hint of cilantro. Thank you.
It had some lime flavoring in it. And then she's like, "Oh, now you're back up to 6 weeks."
Oh, that faith of ours.
You adore her. She's got you so wrapped. It's so cool. It's so cute.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. No crickets.
No crickets.
Go ahead.
What?
Mm-mm.
I can talk about her books.
You always talk about the
She's
book.
written 5 books under Faith Curie Solomon.
You always talk about the books.
Those are on Amazon.
I keep telling him we need to write a book together.
Y'all, how can I put this?
Verbally.
We have a podcast, okay?
Really?
Our voice gets out there. Why? Because we want it to, and my wife made it happen. Okay. But I always talk about my wife and my daughter like this all the time, everywhere I go. Really? Really?
Okay, you do.
What?
Sometimes.
What?
Sometimes.
Woman?
What?
You better get it right.
What?
Case in point,
Lord.
the other day in my book, it was probably like 2-3 weeks ago. The other day,
Say the other day. Now you're saying it's 2 or 3 weeks ago. Which
my
was
daughter and I are in the vehicle. I get a phone call. It was from a customer of mine when I had a job doing garage doors.
What season?
And she refreshed my memory as to who this was. And she said, don't you remember? I bought your daughter's books. You told me all about your daughter and your wife. And I had a witness. My daughter was sitting in the passenger seat of the truck. And I said, that's just wonderful. Thank you for validating how much I talk about my wife and my daughter to everyone, complete strangers even. And this one happened to buy one of my daughters. She bought 2 of my daughter's books. See, it's my daughter. So I hope you husbands out there Talk about y'all's wives, if you're from Utah,
Oh my God.
and children,
Children?
children,
Children.
yes, children,
Ay, ay, ay.
the way I do. Because if you love them, you lift them up, you put them before you. I always put my wife before me. Case in point, every day, breakfast in bed.
A frozen waffle. Ego my ego.
Woman, ego, your ego.
Let go my ego. What is the little thing they say? Let go my
Let
ego. My ego.
My ego.
And have you ever run out of anything? You always have all your favorite groceries. You have all your favorite snacks. You have all your never run out of body wash. Because all you do is sleep. How am I supposed to? And then when I wake you up, you're an asshole when we go to wake you up.
Okay, like asshole part's true.
No, you are.
I'm the one that's awake to bring you breakfast.
Because you pop in a waffle while you're waiting for the dogs to go out because they don't wake me up like they wake you up. And I'm up working 20 hours a day while you're seeing the inside of your eyelids.
I love all your excuses.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you want to go over the list of things that are supposed to be done that haven't been done?
In your book.
Which book? I've written how many?
46.
How many have you written?
0.
How many have you read?
0.
You've not read any of mine?
I've not read any of yours.
Why?
I can't.
Why?
Now, I've read Faith.
But why can't you read mine?
Because yours are tough.
You just told me yesterday what an amazing writer I am.
Read in the extent of editing one of your books.
You always talk. You always
I'm on your third one I'm editing.
No,
I just gave you feedback.
You always tell me what kind of an amazing writer I am.
What?
Amazing writer.
Yes, you are an amazing writer.
Then why wouldn't you want to read my books?
Mm-mm.
Why?
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
No.
Why? 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 Mm-mm. So we're getting close to getting my new puppy. And we're...
My damn dog, this one.
Whatever.
Yes.
No. We'll see who she loves all over.
And I'm going to call her Swan.
Swan? Why Swan?
Why Mumbo?
Because I had the best first dog ever named Mumbo. Yes.
So
okay, I had a Stucco, but I named Stucco after you.
You had a Stucco?
You were my original Stucco.
I'm still Stucco.
And so is my dog. Then why do people have sons and they name them after the dad? Because it's like a legacy thing, right? And it's like a respectful thing. It's why you name like Junior and whatever.
I just thought they couldn't come up with a better name.
Well, that's because, never mind. But I named Stucco because he was humping just like you, everybody. And so,
excuse me,
that is why Stucco is Stucco. And I said, my boy, my baby.
As you speak of him,
because he loves his mama. He loves his mama. And so, hey, baby boy, come here, puppy.
To my dog that way.
Come here, Stucco. You hear him? There's his tail. There's his tail. So, I think it's respect, and that would be a good name. I named him after you.
I'll let you know what my dog's name will be.
I
should be getting our dog here soon.
March.
I got to get with our buddy.
Stucco. March. It'll be March. Stucco's birthday's next week.
Oh, and he's laying there put her on my desk.
That's because I have shit under my desk. And that's because you don't clean up the shit under your desk. That box, that bin right there, has been there 5 months.
It has all the things I needed there.
You can't find shit in there right now. Nope. You can't find anything in there. That is your box. I love this. Ladies, I know you know these excuses that they give us, right? I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Who is they?
Men. I know they're going to do it tomorrow, right? I hear this all the time. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I give you my word. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I promise. I promise. I promise. That never happens. I asked my husband to hang a shelf. It took a year to hang a shelf.
It was a very complex shelf.
No, it wasn't.
You're right, it wasn't.
But it still took you a year.
I had other priorities.
Video games.
And?
No. So, like, we're also rearranging some things in the house. And so my husband's like, I'll get to it. And then there's her new term for her song, procrastination. And he doesn't. So I went ahead and started moving furniture by myself, one-handed, post-spinal surgery. And he's like, woman, I'll get to it. Well, us women know that if we don't either begin to do it ourselves or complete it ourselves, it doesn't get done in a timely manner.
Are you done?
No,
Can we get off this train?
no.
Anyway, y'all know what a big fat heart my wife has and how amazing she is. And that 1-900 voice she goes into sometimes when she's reading.
What?
You can check out some of her Instagram ads.
Ugh.
Yes.
What does that have to do with my heart?
You have such a great disposition and personality
Not everybody would agree with you.
that I know one small Asian child would agree.
Oh my God, that made my day. It was so awesome. Oh, okay, keep going.
Now she's all smiles.
Um,
So apparently they're in the
nope, don't say where.
nail salon.
Sure.
I guess nail salon place
Yeah. My
where,
friend works
where
there.
my wife gets half off.
You're an asshole.
Well, you've already stated that.
Because I'm one-handed, he decides to make a hand. No handoffs for you.
Apparently, there is a small child that has somewhat of a guarded personality, I guess.
Oh my gosh, she's so
Doesn't
cute.
go to anyone.
No one, literally. That is a mama's girl.
And so my wife made a wager with
My friend
yes, your friend.
who works there.
If I can get your daughter to come to me,
No, it wasn't her daughter. It
no,
was her best friend's daughter.
the kid
Right.
to come to me.
Who the kid does not even go to my friend.
Go ahead, tell the story.
No.
It's cute.
So my friend, who her best friend is pregnant and having the baby tomorrow, and we're sending the best wishes, had her daughter with her today. And my best friend, like her best friend was like, oh, this kid never comes to me ever. She never lets anybody come near her, blah, blah, blah. And so I made a little wager. I was like, I'll bet you my nails that I can get this little one to come to me. No way. I was like, all right. So I'm also friends with my friend's best friend. So we're like all friends. And we're chatting, and I'm talking to her tomorrow about tomorrow and her going in for the baby. She's delivering her son tomorrow and all, and we're talking about it. And her little girl is so stinking cute, and everybody keeps going up to her and saying, "Come here, let me hold you." No, no, like she won't go to anybody. So finally, she came up to me, and people were like, "What?" And so finally, like she let me hold her. She put her head on my shoulder. She was loving on me. And her mom's like, come here. And she's like, no. And then she was like, bye, bye, bye. And then she walked up, and I went to see my friend who had gone to the other side of the salon. And she was like, are you kidding me? So she says something in a different language. And I said, what did you just say? And she goes, oh, I said F you in my language. And I was like, why would you say that? I thought I was your friend. She goes, you are my friend. I said it with friendliness. And she goes, I've known that kid since the day she was born. She won't let me pick her up. I've never held her. And I was like, oh, okay. So I put her down and I said, here you go. And then she looks over at her, and the little girl looks back at me and puts her hands back in the air for me to pick her back up. So I do. And she was just like, she kissed me on the nose, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I was like, do you want to go home with me? I have puppies. We'll play. She did not want to leave my side. And it was the sweetest thing. And she put her little arms around me and gave me hugs and put her head down on me. And she was so cute. We went walking around the whole, nail salon together, just like up and down everywhere. And then I asked her about Mickey Mouse, and I put her down, and she went running like everything. Like, so I love when kids run and they're just like, and she brings me back her Mickey Mouse cup. And she's like, Mickey Mouse. And so she showed it to me, and she offered it to me, and I picked her back up. And I mean, then I walked around like she was trying to chase me, and then she wanted me to pick her up again. And I'm walking around holding this kid, and the mom is like, come on, we gotta go. No. I'll get you McDonald's. No. I'll get you French fries. No. I'll get you a Happy Meal. No. She did not want to leave my sight. And everybody there was like, she never lets anybody pick her up. Ever. She was smiling and laughing and cutting up with me, having the best time. It was so sweet. It made my whole day. It really did, because this beautiful little girl came up, kissed me on the nose, and then she was mwah, 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 oh my God. And then when I left, I called Michael, and I was like, I'm bringing home another child. I mean, I am. I offered to bring her home while her mom had a baby, and and it was just like, oh, this kid just made my day. Literally, I mean, 30 extra minutes I was in there just playing with this little sweet angel, and she was so much fun, so much fun. Like, and everybody would be like, "Can I have one of your cookies?" No, no. And then I said, "Can I have one?" Yes. And she'd hand me one. I'm like, "Oh, no, thank you. You can eat it." You really? And I was like, "No, you can eat it." And she'd eat it. I'm like, "You want to go get a lollipop?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I took her to get one. And I mean, she was so, oh my God. See, this is why. Look at what you did. I mean, that little girl was so cute. So cute. She had little pigtails. Ah, so cute. I was like, I want a baby. I want another one.
Y'all see why I love this woman? She's got a big heart.
It's so cute. Like, so, oh, so cute. That little girl was so cute. Seriously. And she's like, she won't ever put the phone down. And I was like, who gives her the phone? You do. So she's addicted to tech, electronics, and she's 18 months old because you're giving her the phone as a babysitter. And I was like, I'm not touching that phone while I have her. I promise you. No, she has to have that phone at all times. She has to watch her videos. I'm like, not with me. She won't. I said, can I see your phone? And she's like, uh-huh. And hands me the phone. Put the phone down. We never touched it again. We had fun. We interacted. We played. We did not touch that doggone phone. Mom was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I don't need that phone. I don't know. Nope, nope. Mm-mm. It's not a babysitter, for crying out loud, right? We had so much fun. And I asked her, I said, watch. She goes, no, she wants her phone. I was like, no, she doesn't. So I said to her, I said, do you want your phone? Uh-uh. Mm. What? No. Okay. Thank you. I love kids. I love kids. Probably why I'm married to you.
Ha ha.
Ah, it just lit up. When I called my husband, he was like, what have you done? I can hear it in your voice. I'm like, it was the cutest little kid. She was so cute. Her little pigtails, and then the little swish, 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 swish when she's, waddling around. Oh,
Do they listen to our show?
I,
I know at your beautician they do.
oh my God, yes. But I don't know if, I know my friend has. I don't know if her best friend, the pregnant woman, we've only become like friendly probably in the last couple of months. I don't know if she has or not. I talked to her in depth about helping her with the baby when the baby is born, and what could be done because the baby is going to need some surgery. And so I told her whatever I could do to help, I would help. No question asked, just text me and let me know what she needs. So I don't know if she does or not, but I'm sure if my friend hears this, she's going to get really angry with me. And I'll hear about it when I see her next.
Hey, Rusty.
Hey, rusty butt.
So I want to end on this note, this thought, and I want to put out there to y'all who have purchased my wife's book,
Here we go.
and B, have not reviewed the book. Okay, we have, I think, 2 or 3 negative reviews. Okay, they were made up by one person.
Yes.
Okay, on different accounts. Okay, it's the same language. It's the lingo that he uses all his life throughout the years. So we know who the a-hole is.
Because somebody got called out for the truth.
Right. So please do Victoria a favor. One, buy her book and read it and then review it. Okay. And just put your honest opinion in there. We would greatly appreciate that. And be sure to jump over to victoriacurated.com to check out many other books. And we'll look forward to her new and 47th book coming up here soon. And if you type in Victoria Cure, she's in probably like 9 magazines, 14. I don't forgot. You're in so damn many.
Well, I write for some too.
You write for a lot.
And we will be on the cover for Podcast International in March.
Yeah.
That's kind of exciting.
So y'all want to know who we are, what we look like?
I apologize for my appearance. My husband's hot, but he's married.
No.
He will not stray out of this marriage.
You can see us contact us, I believe, or about us on our official website, contagiouspawn.com.
And of course, we have the academy that was created. Do you want to talk about that? You never talk about the
That's your
academy.
baby.
No, it's our baby, and you can talk about it.
Go ahead.
You want some salsa with your tea?
Mm-mm.
No, talk about our academy.
You talk.
I'm very humble. I don't talk about that stuff. I put stuff out to help other people. That's why I do it. I don't talk about it.
dateasmile.com. There's a tab that says Academy. Click on it. Go through the classes. Have at Hoss. There you go. I talked about
Well,
it.
you just overexerted yourself.
I'm tired.
You can't be tired.
Tired.
Do you know why you're tired? Because you sleep too much. And if you sleep
Yeah.
too much, Alexa, if you sleep too
Don't
much,
get that woman involved.
don't
Good
do-
night, y'all. From a contagious smile.
Alexa, if you sleep too much,
you for
don't you
listening
get
to-
too tired during the day?
Michael and Victoria.
Strong.com. If you're sleeping too much and still feeling tired during the day, you might have a vitamin D deficiency.
Ha.
So
So,
it's
these
normal.
Are out.
My God. Take us out.
I just did.
That's not taking us out. This isn't one of your exes that you're just taking out to take it out and take it in, put it in.
What?
Good night, y'all.
God, woman.